Today we'll quickly do the season summary for the June season of Gwent. I debated not doing this because I didn't play as many games this season, but you know what? I don't want to spoil a series and skip one, so we'll do it now. We're actually doing 2 videos today, and one will come out tomorrow. We'll be doing the Collusion deck, finally. I'm looking forward to that. But today we'll be doing the June season. So, we'll start off with the faction distribution. We played 100-something games this season, I think. Not too many. So, again, not the biggest sample size, but I thought it'd be fun just to go through. And this is for the June season. So, we played against 32% Nilfgaard. It's always the most popular faction. No surprise there. 21% monsters. A lot of monsters. They've got a couple different decks, mostly Deathwish and Tatterwing Arrakis Swarm. Seen quite a few of those. Next up, we played against 18% Skellige. This is pretty normal. These 3 factions taking up 75% of the games we played against. And we have the 13% Northern Realms, 6% Syndicate, which is not many games, to be fair. So Syndicate data is kind of small, but it's always the least popular faction. And then some Scoia'tael. The Scoia'tael's kind of weird because they had a very, very strong deck in Harmony, but that was like their only deck, at least that I saw. And again, as always, these are just the games I played. It's not representative of the ladder or your games or even like balance. It's just what I saw. So it's just fun to look at. Next, let's look at the popular decks by faction. So, sort of monsters here. Again, these are all of the decks that I faced more than once. If there's more games, I'll do like more than twice. But this season, we didn't play that many. It's just things we played more than once. It's a couple random one-ofs, so most of the decks are pretty consistently like popular. Usually decks have more than one people playing them, unless it's something pretty random. So, we have, for monsters, Deathwish with Dagon. We have Fruits Midrange, Renfri Koshé, Vampire Devotion, and Arrakis Tatterwing. None of this is surprising to me. Renfri, good. Fruits Midrange just didn't get too much nerf. It's just good. Deathwish is good. And our Tatterwing Arrakis one's really good. The one that really surprised me here is the Frost. Frost has been those popular monsters deck for a couple seasons in my games. It just like disappeared. I think that has to do with it not having the control to deal with Harmony, which is very powerful and popular, and not having and having too much like engine to deal with, like Skellige raids, for example. So we'll see if that comes back. For Nilfgaard, most popular Nilfgaard deck was Nilfgaard Enslave Assimilate. No surprise, this is basically always the most popular Nilfgaard deck. I don't think that means it's that doesn't mean it's overpowered. It's just always the most popular one. It's pretty straightforward. Has some options in it. Then the other ones we saw more than once were Renfri Assimilate, Shupe Henry Assimilate. Oh, this one is probably the best one of these decks, in my opinion. Or was the best. It did get nerfed. Assimilate Ivo, very popular as well. Well, I just shouldn't say very popular, but popular as well. This has always kind of been here in the shadow of Enslave. We have Knights, Status Ball, Soldiers, and Shupe Soldiers. So a couple Shupe decks in here. Some Soldiers with a crossbow buff. It's pretty interesting. Let's go to the next faction. We have Northern Realms. And now we get to the part of the data where it gets a little sad. So, we have Shield Wall Golden Necker. That deck's pretty good. No surprise there. Temple Demavend. Always going to be on this list, I think. It's like probably the easiest one to play. Has some pretty straightforward stuff. Although you get some RNG off the Temple. It didn't change much, so people who liked it will still play it. Still good. We have Alumni. I think this is just a counter to Harmony because the Alumni just beats it because their engines are greedier. Most of the time. And here we go. So Skellige, we have Raid Warriors, Blaze of Glory. This one, and Raid Warriors, Patch Shadow Fury. It's a very similar deck. It's the same deck, just with a different leader, and one has like Svanrig. I always say that thing name. And then play a couple Crow Spams, a couple Witchers, a couple Pirates. That's it. These are basically the same deck, like I said, though. Very popular. Here we go. The only deck we played more than once in Scoia'tael was Harmony with Call of Harmony. So this is a sad-looking graph. If we played more games, it'd also not quite look this way, but really, this is the only deck I really saw from the faction. And then we have Syndicate. 2 decks we played twice. One's Bounty and one's Golden Necker Bounty. I'm convinced that this is because there were so many Syndicate nerfs in the May or June, in the June Balance Council, that it was hard to play a lot of Syndicate decks. The July one buffed a whole bunch of stuff in it to make up for that, but it was pretty hard to find Syndicate decks, in my opinion, to make as a content creator. And this deck was the only one that didn't really get hit that hard, so can't say I'm too surprised. So overall, the most popular decks were Enslave Assimilate, Raid Warriors, Fury. If you add Blaze of Glory to this, it was the most popular. Call of Harmony, Death Wish, Soldier, Shield Wall, and these. And that'll be it here. So if we take a look at the leaders next, most popular monsters leaders, there's actually a pretty good variety here. So Overwhelming Hunger, fit with a bunch of decks. Arachis Swarms for Tatterwing. Roots of Use gets from the mid-range. Force of Nature is the Renfrees. But there you go, one White Frost only and one Carapace, which is kind of surprising to me. But yeah, it's actually a pretty reasonable spread here, but that's not going to maintain, as I'm saying. So here's Northern Realms. We have Inspired Zeal at 3, Shield Wall at 7. It's kind of funny seeing Shield Wall as the most popular one. Usually is Inspired Zeal, but this is the Alumni as well as the Golden Necker Shield Wall, so those two both use this one. And the biggest surprise to me is we saw a Uprising player. That was funny. For Scoia'tael, again, like I said, 7 Call Harmonies, 1 Guerrilla Tactics, which was also Harmony, 1 Deadeye Ambush, which was a Precision Strike deck. But that's it. Not much Scoia'tael, but all of it basically concentrated to Call Harmony, which we're going to have a similar thing here. Where Skellige, it's pretty much just Blaze of Glory and Patricideal Fury. These are raid decks. This is the Crow Spam deck, plays this leader as well. So Crow Spam and Raid Warriors, this is just Raid Warriors, then a couple of each of these. No Rage of the Sea, no Battle Trance, no Ritual. Ritual surprised me. Earthsign Ritual is one of the better decks. It's actually a really strong deck, but it's hard to play, so I guess it's not that popular. For Nilfgaard, again, we've back to a pretty reasonable spread here. A lot of Enslave, 11. Then next most popular is Imperial Formation. These both had multiple decks, which is why they're so high. Double Cross a couple decks, Toussaint Hospitality a couple decks, Imposter and Imprisonment. So the only thing we didn't see is Tactical Decision. And I think the Mage Assassin buff in the July Balance Council might change that in the future, but we'll see. As far as Syndicate, yeah, this is also pretty sad, isn't it? It's 5 Blood Monies and then 1 off the books. All of the other Syndicate decks, like Congregation is not very good. Hidden Cache isn't great either. And then all the other ones really relied on cards that got nerfed. So I didn't really see it. Whenever something gets nerfed, even if it's still balanced, like if it's overpowered and gets nerfed, people still stop playing it. But I don't really think that's the case here. I think Syndicate's just not popular. And then Blood Money is the only one people wanted to play in my games. So overall, those popular leaders are Enslave, Patricideal Fury, Shield Wall, Call of Harmony, Formation, Hunger, Blaze of Glory, Double Cross, Blood Money, Force Nature, Toussaint, Arachis Swarm. Like these ones, there's not that many of, so these are the big ones in my games, as always. And least popular, here's the graph of the ones that had 0. We'll notice here that we have, 2 Northern Realms, 4 Scoia'tael, which is hilarious to me, that Nature's Gift really just, they used to be really popular. Keep nerfing Equinox, it's gone. Don't see it anymore. Rage of the Sea, Battle Trance, Earthsign Ritual. Like, Earthsign Ritual surprised me here, but whatever. And then we have these other ones. So those are the leaders that I encountered last season. And then lastly, well, not quite lastly, let's take a look at deck types. The most popular deck types, so we have Control Engine, Point Slam, and what's it called? Midrange. So, as always, well, not as always, as in most of these, we'll keep track. At some point, we'll make a cumulative graph of this. But midrange is most popular, followed by engine decks. Like, a lot of midrange decks just kind of are the best at the moment. Control, not that much control. Pure control decks struggle. They have to be, like, really good or have some kind of extra value creation, but still saw a decent number of them. Smaller number of Point Slam decks, like Point Slam. A lot of mid-range cards have gotten a lot of Point Slam. A lot of the control cards that are good generate value, so Point Slam kind of fell off. And then we have some combo decks here. You know, your good old, you go on, combo goes off, you win type of stuff. So this is what we saw. This isn't surprising. This is about what I normally see. And obviously, there could be some crossover between what some people call mid-range and an engine deck in particular. So this is how I see it. And lastly, I finally made a graph of the neutral packages we see the most. And these are the ones I have on it for now. We have Renfree, I should have put little ticks on here. This is 9. So Renfrey, we saw 9 times. Golden Necker 7. Shoop 4. These are all in Nilfgaard. And then 1 bomb, 1 construct as far as the neutrals. And that's it. That's what we saw this season. It was pretty interesting. Again, we didn't play that many games. Again, this is just my experience. It doesn't represent anything. Just thought it'd be fun to include and put up anyway. And let me know what you guys think. Would you guys see something similar, something different? I hope you guys enjoyed. I wasn't going to do this one, but then I felt we should just put it up anyway, just post it today. Because probably should just do one for each season if we don't play that much. Because it will maintain this series, right? So, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next time. And the next video coming out should be the Devotion Collusion deck. Should be coming out tomorrow. So, if you're looking out for that deck, I know a lot of people are requesting it. That's the next one. That'll be it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more. And you can check out some more videos over here. And thanks for watching.